Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our Football Pundits podcast channel, where we talk about all things football and cover as much as possible. We are back with our ever so present panelists. We are back with Kshitij Rastogi, our in house United supporter. We have Global Grovers, the Grover brothers, Rohil Grover and Rishabh Grover. And today we would like to introduce our guest speaker, our in-house Arsenal supporter, which you can see from the jersey that he's wearing. And we are very excited to have him with us today because I believe that it is the opportune moment to have him with us because we are seeing a form resurgence from Arsenal suddenly. So I believe we would like to have some talking points from him. Uh,
Thanks,
so before
Shubham.
we, yeah,
Thanks.
Uh, yeah, so before we jump into it, I would just like to reinforce that if you like what we do or just want to listen to us talk about football passionately, please subscribe, like, and share the video. And do not forget to click the bell icon to get updates about our videos. So, I think this is the perfect time to start our discussion. And I think I would like to start our discussion with Arsenal. As we have talked before, Arsenal have been banter FC for a very long time in our panel, but I think
Not
because
today.
suddenly not today because suddenly we are seeing Arsenal back on
Yeah, I
form.
think I think I think the reason why there was a lot of banter and everything involved with Arsenal was the 6 games drought, and we've never seen them losing 3 games in a row at home. So I think that was a big case of Arsenal not doing well. But
And I think
let's talk
I
about
think they were
Arsenal.
like,
So
yeah,
let's start with Arsenal because you wanted to talk about Arsenal. So Arsenal hasn't invested a lot of money into it. If you look at last 5 years, we've not invested money into it, and this game has now become a very money involved game. When you talk about when Chelsea won it for the first time, there was a lot of money involved, and after that, Man City and all the teams that you've seen coming up, except probably Leicester, which was a freak year, but except that, I think it's become more of who can have a better transfer summer. Uh, so Arsenal bought
right,
Thomas Partey, and he's played 2.5 hours of football for Arsenal from September to December. Now, I think he will be a new signing for us when he starts playing again. He'll look like a new signing again. And if you look at players that we are going for, I think we're trying to get few new players. I think we need a. I think most of you would agree that we don't have a creative midfielder as of now. Um,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Smith Rowe
we have
is a good
talked about it
option.
before, like,
Yeah, so Smith Rowe is a good option, but I don't think he's young, and you need somebody. If we want to get into the top four, you need somebody who's actually played a lot many hours, and
Hmm.
he's done a very good job for another team. So I think what we are trying now to go for is somebody. I don't know whether you know him and you've seen him. There's a player called Carlos Soler, and he plays for Valencia.
Hmm.
He's top notch, and he's a creative midfielder. I think we had talks about Isco and then Ericsson and our,
yeah,
and now I think we're talking about Brand too from Dortmund. So these are 4 5 players that are there. I think some of them are rumors, but I think Carlos Soler, I think Arteta is very impressed with him, and I'm also impressed with him. He's a good player, and he'll bring something new. So I think those two players, Party coming and playing a midfield, center midfield, defensive role, and uh, one top creative midfielder will give us a lot of improvement, and you'll see a different
yeah.
Arsenal after that. And
But Siddharth,
currently, if you look at
I
our
just
players,
wanted
only
to, yeah, I just wanted to
go
like
ahead, go ahead.
ask you, like suddenly what changed? Like for the last three games, I know it's too early to say what kind of finish they would end up in the table, but for the last three games, because we suddenly see a different spark in the team. It's like they want to prove to the world that we were not a bad team. We were just suffering from a lack of confidence, something. But what do
Absolutely.
you think was
I,
the change?
I. All right. So, change is match of the day is the change. When match of the day, when people in UK and everybody who watches match of the day and they come and say that Arsenal is going to uh, play for the relegation battle. You've got. You've got the Arsenal team, which is like always been in the top four. They've won the league 13, I
Yeah,
think 12 to 13 times, 12 times or 13 times. They're the FA Cup champions. They won the most FA Cups ever. And you're talking about a team which had the greatest players of our era, probably. You had
yeah,
uh, my favorite
Henry.
Bergkamp. Then you have Henri. You've got. I can name you loads of them. We can go on and on about it. And so, for me, Arsenal has never gone and got the player that they really wanted at that time.
hmm.
Like when I knew when we had Fabregas, Nasri, and loads of them, Rosiski, you name them, and we
Arshavin,
had the creative Arshavin, Jack Wilshere, and you name
Lord
them.
Bednar.
The Bednar, oh my God. So yeah, so we
sir,
had
sir,
we had
sir,
players like that,
sir Benter.
but yeah, but we didn't have a defensive midfield then. So what we were
Yeah,
doing was we didn't buy that, and now we've got a defensive midfielder who's really good. Thomas Partey is rated by everybody really high, and we don't have a creative midfielder. So you as a team you want players that at that period you should have all of them. It's not about like
Yeah.
Liverpool. Now, why is Liverpool good? I know they've got an amazing attacking team, but Van Dijk, whether you like it or not, he gives you that presence that
Yeah.
was not there for them. They
Yeah.
went and bought the goalkeeper. They went and bought.
He is
He
the
only
liquid
bought
fuel.
players that he needed.
yeah,
So I think for us, if you go from Arsenal's point of view, I think Rishabh sent me a list where he said that is it too soon to say that there is going to be a resurgence? Yes, it is soon. It is really soon because we've seen ups and downs currently with every team.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So it's very soon. But if you give chances to the young players and the way they are playing, and that is why the resurgence. You've got Martinelli back, who is probably the best under 20 in the world.
Yeah.
Best.
best.
If you look
Right.
at look at him, if you look at him play, he looks amazing. I've seen him live, and I was there in the stadium, and I think he scored a goal, and the timing, the running, from where he was to getting, and I was there for the Chelsea game when he scored from half line. He went,
Yeah,
from from our uh, our box to their box. He ran alone, and
Hmm.
it shows you how good a player he is. Then we can
right.
see what Saka did yesterday. We can see what Tierney
Absolutely.
did yesterday. So these are the changes that you will see. But if you ask me whether you will be in the top four or top six, with the current games that we've gone through, I don't think we're going to be there. But if you ask me, like 2 months down the lane, when we've started winning games, we play Man United. We've got a Man United at home. I think we've got Newcastle at home. We've got Crystal Palace at home. So these 3-4 games are big for us. If we start winning at home and start doing whatever, see, I'll be honest with you. West Brom wasn't a good team. Okay,
Right.
they weren't playing well, but you still have to play whatever you've got against you. So we beat them
Exactly.
4-0.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Before
It's
that, we
anyways
played.
gonna be a difficult. It's a away fixture. No
We
matter
won
like
1-0.
what kind of
People
team
were
it
talking
is.
about
Premier League,
people
it's
were
always
talking
difficult.
people were talking about the 1-0 win, that the away game that we had in Brighton. I think Brighton or Burnley. Where was
Yeah.
it?
Brighton.
Brighton.
Yeah.
And I thought that it was a very well deserved game because we were not good enough for the first half. But we
Hmm.
won that game, and that is important. In the league, it's not important how good you play; it's the results that matter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Isn't that?
I know you want to be a Man City or a Liverpool who are playing this all exotic football,
Yeah.
and you want to
Football.
watch
Yeah.
them. But I'll prefer a Man United over them who are winning games, last minute games. They're getting those results, which is very important. No, Rashford goal was the worst goal that I've seen when they won 1-0. Yeah, yeah, but it doesn't matter.
It
It
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. They got the result, 93rd minute. They have the
Yeah.
result. They have those 3 points in. Now, for me, Chelsea played some amazing football, But if they play like what they're playing today, it's going to be hard. Plus, some of their strategies has been all over the
Questionable.
place.
Yeah,
If
Yeah.
you've got a player like if you've got a player like Giroud who scored 6 goals in 4 games, and you don't play him against Arsenal, that's the strategy gone wrong for
yeah.
me up there,
Mhm.
because he's going to give you the goals, yeah.
Yeah, and he
And
is the informed player. Yeah, he is the informed player. You need to play him. Yeah.
and I don't want to remember this, but Europa League final, and he really was difficult to handle. And I knew from the start that he's going to score. So he scored an amazing header that day, I think,
Yeah.
if I
He
remember well.
did.
So yeah. So those are the things I think strategy wise. But again, we talk about strategies, but I think Lampard must have thought about something when he didn't have Giroud there. But I don't know how. If you ask me, I think out of all the managers, and they talk about risk of this manager, risk of that manager. I thought Arteta, he was never my manager, to be honest. I never wanted him in. I would have preferred, and I wrote it down also, because I would have preferred somebody like Allegri to come in,
Hmm.
but he wouldn't have been cheap first, and that's the first thing in account when you look into Arsenal, that it has to be cheap. So I think they would have got Arteta for much. And the other thing I think was that if Allegri would have come in, he would have asked for players to buy.
Right.
And that is one
Right.
thing that people won't like to take up a job with Arsenal, because they won't get the players that they want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you get my
I think
point?
that's what
So
I
it
think
is
we also talked about it in our previous episodes, that if
absolutely,
Pochettino and Allegri both were available at this point of time, nobody would like to come and take this job, because a new manager would demand new
absolutely,
players, new everything, and you
absolutely,
have to start everything from scratch. So whatever Arteta was building up to
absolutely.
now has gone in vain.
Yeah, and
So
board has
I'm not a fan of Arteta, and I'll let you speak after this, because I've talked a lot, and I get that you guys would give your knowledge about it. But I would like to share this knowledge that I'm not a very big fan of Arteta. But after Wenger went, it is not that overnight you can change a team.
yeah,
You've
Exactly.
got the same
Exactly.
same
Yeah.
team. 6 to 7 players are the same. And if you talk about, we need a striker and we need this, okay. How's Aubameyang become a bad striker overnight? Because he's not scored in 16. He's an amazing striker, mate. I
yeah,
have seen
Still
him up
is.
front. He is sorry, and I have seen him up front. He's a mind-blowing player,
Yeah.
amazing player. Okay, Lacazette on his day can be ruthless, ruthless. I've seen him play. The worst buy for us is 75 million Pepe, but he's got speed. But he wasn't a proven player for 75 million. And
Yeah.
see, Unai Emery has left, and he's left Pepe to be handled by Arteta, who,
But
even if he's not a
what
fan,
about David Luiz? You got
David
David Luiz
Luiz.
too. Yeah.
See again, Lewis. He's got mistakes in him, and I've seen him getting thrashed by Germany 7-0. Yeah, and I knew that he was playing for Brazil, and they got
And he
thrashed
was the
semi-final
captain. He was the
7-0.
captain that night.
And he was the captain, and he made 4 or 5 mistakes that day.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, and David Luiz has got it in him, so he's got that streak where he'll make big mistakes. But to be honest, defensively, we've got Gabriel now, we've got Pablo Mari,
Yeah.
we've got what's his
Holding.
name, the English guy,
Hold,
Rob
Holding.
Holding. So
And Turney.
and
And Tierney.
before getting hurt, we're talking about centre back. Tierney
Oh.
can do a job when we are playing 5 at the back, but 2 at the
Hmm.
back. Chambers, before
Hmm.
getting hurt, I went and watched a few of his games, because he's been hurt for a year, so we don't talk about it. But Chambers was doing an amazing job. He was really good. So those are the players. But if you ask me, attacking midfield, if you're not playing Ozil, who and would be one of my favorite players even if he leaves, and we'll talk about that later. There's a lot of things that we can talk about that, but
Yeah.
I think midfield. So let's stop there. Let's get into the other teams now. I think I've
I
given
think
you
this
a lot of
is
insight about what Arsenal.
this is
Yeah,
a comprehensive review of Arsenal. I don't know if anybody else can add anything to it because you've answered everything which I think everybody would have had concerns about. It's a
but
very
see,
passionate
that is the thing that we wanted, right? We wanted to get a Arsenal fan, a Gunners fan, who could like talk about the intricacies of Arsenal that probably a non-Arsenal fan does not see in a team. So I'm
Yeah,
glad that you just
and
gave.
I think all football supporters would agree to it that when Arsenal play
Yeah,
their play the football the way it's supposed to be played,
is
they look the
supposed to be played.
best.
They were
They
always
look the
Yeah,
known.
best.
They were always
yeah.
known for
They
that.
look the best. So,
I
and
I think
I think
I think I still remember that goal. I think it was against Norwich, the one that
Ramsey,
Ozil,
yeah.
Wilshere, and
Wilshere.
Giroud played that
Yeah.
1-2
Oh,
thing. Oh man, that
oh,
goal is still,
mind blowing
yeah, that goal is still
in
it's still
everybody's
it's still
mind.
in the memory. Yeah, it's amazing that goal.
Yeah,
even
absolutely,
I remember
absolutely.
like and this Wilshere and one goal that Wilshere scored the same way, and then Aaron Ramsey scored the same way. Like two or three passes, like tearing out the defense. The defense does not know where the ball is, and
Yeah,
it's just in the back of the head. So that's
Yeah, that
what
was again
I believe
Norwich.
that's what
That's the one
Wenger was also
that
doing.
Yeah, and just to
yeah,
add one small thing is that I mean about Wenger and Arsenal is that I mean like you said Wenger has been at Arsenal for past 22 years. Alex Ferguson was also there for 25 years. So I mean, following their legacy is always going to be difficult. You cannot
True.
expect like a player, a manager like David Moyes or Unai Emery to actually follow up with that. And in this scenario, nobody is expected to stay for 20 years now. No manager is going to stay for so long. So
And
absolutely.
I think if I ask Rishabh, I think he still would say that they should have given more time to David Moyes, just like
yeah.
they believe.
I still believe that he should have been given more time, and I've been saying that for long enough. That managers should be given more time. You look at everything that Liverpool's built. They've given him enough time to build what he is doing now. Like that's all his hard work through like about 4 or 5 years. So,
Right.
and it's the same thing with oil. Like if you had lost hope after that 6-1 defeat we had against Spurs, everything that United is right now would have again been in vain, right? So
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
need to
True.
start
True.
giving. You need to. I agree that you cannot keep a manager for more than like now that time is gone. Like you cannot keep a manager for 20 years, but you still need to give him enough time to build what he needs. Yeah.
All right, but at this point, I think we should jump to our next topic, which probably would elaborate more about it because now we're going to talk about the mid-season. It is right now we are at the midpoint of the season. It has been an up and down season. Uh, our Arsenal fan base just left, just left. But okay, let's not stop there. Like because we just wanted to elaborate on the season. What do you guys see in the What do you see in the future of your teams? What do you see in where do you see United finishing up according to the performance, Kshitij?
Okay, so United has been playing a lot better football like since the past. Like I think Arsenal was our last defeat, if I'm not wrong. That was in early November. That was the last time we lost in the Premier League,
Mhm.
which says a lot in a league that is so competitive and teams are dropping points left, right, and center. So the ability to be and the games that we have away, we haven't lost an away game since the start of the season, and even further back, like even since in the lockdown, we haven't lost an away game, which is a very huge deal. So and it is not just that we are not getting we are getting those points, the way we are getting those points, like even if we go a goal down, even if we go 2 goals down like we did against Southampton, we still have the character to win those games back, and then that breeds confidence in the team. So yeah, like I absolutely love the position that we are in. Like we were in a similar position under Jose Mourinho, but the gap between City and United was so big, and the brand of football we were playing was so bad at the moment. But now I really like I'm enjoying football again. I enjoy watching United again.
So
Like, it's exciting.
I would not say that I'm all right. How do I put it? So I'm enjoying the counter-attacking football that they're playing. But if you ask me midfield wise or centre back, what United has, I think if you look at Liverpool and City, they play a much better brand of football.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you ask about counter-attacking football and you've got the players, I think there's no doubt United will be up there. There's no doubt because see, again, going away, you can soak up the pressure and you can counter-attack. So and they've got I think he's the Rashford. He's just amazing.
Yeah.
Though some of the goals that he scored are very lucky, but I think you make your own luck. So he's been amazing.
Yeah.
So United as a team would be there in the top 4. I don't think they're going to win, but they will be in the top 4.
But then if we're talking about top 4, then I think I need to talk about Leicester. I think they have finished the season just 2 points behind Liverpool, third in the table. So what do you guys believe? Do you see Leicester doing the Leicester thing that they're known for, or I think they're going to fall down the pecking order?
Yeah, they're gonna fall off the grace somewhere down the road because that is something that did last season as well. They started off brilliantly.
But see, the last season the situation was a bit different because if the COVID situation would not have been there, I personally believe Leicester would have been in top 4 the way they were performing, and either United or Chelsea would not be there.
Yeah.
So now, if we don't see that kind of gap again or the schedule issues, then what do you think? Because see, the thing is, the complaints are still there that they win with the penalties and they scrap the goals. But as Siddharth just told, it's about the results.
I'm not a big fan of Leicester the way they play, but I must have to say I'm a big fan of Jamie Vardy. I'm a big fan of his. Okay, so whether people
he turns people into believers.
He plays. He can play in any of the top 4 team. To be honest, he's technically not that good, but what he gets to the team, the energy, is just mind blowing. You need to watch him play. I've seen him live, and believe me, I've seen him play for England also, so live, and he's amazing. He'll make those runs 10 times and he'll get the ball once, but he'll still go running, he'll still make those runs. So that is unbelievable. And he comes from a tier 3 team to Leicester. So he's got the hunger. He's always hungry, you can see that. So I agree with Anshuman that they may have got into the top 4 last year, but this year they're not going to get into the top 4. They are not.
Okay.
The reason is very simple. I'll give you the top 4 for me. Man City are going to be there. Liverpool are going to. I think they're going to win the league. Personally, I feel they're going to win the league because I saw their game where they drew. They could have scored 6, but they drew the game. But they are going to go and score 6 against other teams.
Yeah.
The way they play football is just amazing. And when they are on song, I think...
and I think in the second of the season, Van Dijk will return again.
Absolutely. So, and they're playing with Fabinho as a
center back.
As a centre back, So Fabinho is a centre midfield player, and he's just mind-blowing centre midfield player. So
I think they got a centre back on free. They don't have to buy another centre back to partnership with Van Dijk.
Absolutely. And he looks better than Matip and the other guy. What's his name?
Yeah, absolutely.
He looks better than them. So
exactly.
Robertson and the other guy. What's his name? Arnold. They both are there, and you've got midfield of Henderson. Henderson. And what's the other guy? Wijnaldum is again. He's top of the notch. So Thiago is not played much, but he comes in.
Yeah, he comes in.
And they've got Jota as a substitute player to come in, who's who's again a very good goal scorer. Yeah,
Yeah.
gives them everything. So for me, Liverpool are going to win the league. Man
Okay.
United are going to come second, or Man City is going to come second. So those three positions taken, and then it's going to be between Chelsea. We've forgotten about Spurs. Though I
Spurs.
hate.
Yeah, I was just jumping with
I
Rishabh.
can't say that on. I can't say that on podcast. So yeah, I'm not a very big fan of Spurs, but they're right up there. And Mourinho, you don't know, man. He can play the most negative football, park the bus, park everything there, and can win the league for them. So, and they've got 2 or 3 world class. Even I think they're the top 3 players in the world. Kane, Son. He's just
The
he's just
combination is phenomenal. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, just last night the game, I think we saw those two perform again as like it was the same. It was as usual. It was the same side.
You look at the Arsenal Tottenham game and Tottenham Arsenal game, and the 2 goals that they scored first half. It was all both of them. There was nothing else involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the goal that this guy
I can still remember Son curling the ball in
absolutely top right corner.
Yeah.
And
I mean, those are the things, because normally a player in that kind of game would not have thought of doing that.
absolutely.
But because of the confidence that Son has right now, just like we are talking.
I don't think it's just this year. Son has been a good player for them for last 3-4
Exactly.
years. It's just that people have started noticing him now.
Yeah.
That
No, it's also the position switch that Kane and Son have gotten.
Yeah,
So,
you can call
like,
them Con. You can call them Con.
exactly,
Because
yeah, right.
the amount of goals that they have both worked on is just mind blowing.
So yeah, I mean,
Con,
for them.
or you want to call them Con or Sane? Which one do
Sane.
you prefer?
Say,
So,
I think
after last night's game, they have equaled the all-time record for the most involved combination in
involved.
goals, which is I think 13.
Oh,
For any season.
13.
They're definitely breaking and setting a new record for a season. So
Yeah, so as much as I don't like Spurs, but I think they will be running for the 4th position. They'll not win the league for me, but they will be running for that 4th position.
yeah, I mean,
So-
but okay. If I talk about,
and don't forget, sorry, Anshuman. Let me also get into that. There's a team which I have really liked is Everton. So I know
Right.
they lost their last game, but Everton, and also it comes down to who their manager is.
yeah.
So this manager is not a small manager, okay? So
he's a
let's-
world-class title-winning manager.
He's a title-winning manager, and he's won Champions League with 3
Exactly.
teams. So that's a big call. So you have a manager like that, and they've got a very good team. So they would be running for it. I think Arsenal would be there or thereabouts. I'm not sure. It depends on what we buy in this.
They will be in the top 6. I mean, we can say that.
January. Wolves will be there. Wolves without Jimenez, they're still doing well.
Yeah.
Jimenez got hurt, but again, Wolves is a team that you can't say that they. And one team that I've really liked, and the brand of football that they've played, I've seen all their games. I'm not a big fan of that team, but I've liked the way they've played. Aston Villa. I have really liked the way they've come and played against every team. They beat Arsenal 3-0, and I just like the way Jack
7-2.
Grealish 7-2. I don't want to remind, and there are no Liverpool fans here, so it's okay.
Yeah.
But they gave a thrashing to Liverpool, and I'll be honest with you, their team looks like a team. They've lost the last game, and Man United were pretty good, but they were also lucky. There were some positions that Jack Grealish, Ollie should have scored. I think there were a few chances for Ollie to score. So, and Grealish looks like a player. He looks like a.
I think he was.
Grealish, I think, already looks like a player who's gonna go to a big club for a big fee. Yeah, for a big fee. Already
See,
seen
that has been happening since he has been an Aston Villa player. Aston Villa just keeps paying him more and more to keep him there. Now he has the captain.
it is good that we saw that Aston Villa kept actually when they were actually facing relegation and they somehow escaped that relegation. They kept him, and now his value has risen more than twice. I think. Because the things that he's doing for Aston Villa right now.
But I just wanted to ask about one more team.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to ask about one more team. It's like they have suddenly have Southampton. Like suddenly they have a form damp right now. But just to see the kind of improvement that the team had this mid-season, I just wanted to get your opinions on that because I don't want to take that away from Southampton.
Yeah,
I don't know where they might finish up. They might even jump out of that. Yeah.
Anshuman, currently, how many players did Southampton buy in this summer? Any clue? I don't think much.
I don't think a lot. It's the same core team.
And what they had was this manager who was given a chance, I think, somewhere down last year, Ralph. And the way he's worked with the players, I think that makes. So when people say that manager, the team plays, but it's the manager who works with the team. Is the manager who. So Danny Ings from.
I still remember that Leicester game.
Yes.
And to see where Southampton are today, since that day.
Yeah.
Since that day, the way the team have changed their game, the way the manager. Yeah, I really like that. I really like that from a Southampton perspective.
So again, manager-wise, if you look at it, I love the way Leeds play. I think the only problem is their defense, but the way they play and they express themselves on their field.
Yeah.
Bielsa is probably the best manager in the world. I don't have to say it. I think he's the most ethical manager. Unethical or ethical?
He's the most expressive manager on the field. That is what I would say. Like the players, that it's 90 minutes, even if it's.
Anshuman, I'm sorry. Did you say ethical or unethical? Because
I said ethical.
Because the Leeds song that we spy when we want. You know that it's after Bielsa, yeah. Because this happened.
I know about the scandals and all.
Yeah, the scandal. So let's not be ethical. He's probably one of the best managers, analysis-wise, how he analyzes his analysis of the game, and probably the work rate. Leeds put in a lot of work rate. So that's one thing that you have to give it to them. And they play a different kind of football. I liked the way they started the league with United when they lost, but they played a very good game. But I think he's a very good manager.
Yeah.
I just wanted to take your opinions on if we just talk about the bottom of the table quickly. Like right now on the table, on the relegation zone are lying like Fulham, West Brom and Sheffield. What do you guys think? Would any of them survive, or I think the relegation zone has been fixed?
I think it's pretty much fixed. I think
Fulham might escape because I've seen a little bit of a turnaround from them.
Yes,
they're playing a little well. But and also Sheffield, I would just say Sheffield has been just unlucky. Like the way they have lost games.
Yeah.
It's unlucky that they are at 2 points at the end of the December. Like I think they should have at least been somewhere between 10 and 11 points. But
I think for the relegation battle, I think Brighton is still on the fight.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like Fulham might escape.
I'm just happy.
Fulham might escape.
I'm just happy Arsenal is out of it. So yeah.
You never know. Actually,
You never know. Actually,
we can again be back into the discussion about that.
But then again, we can't talk about Chelsea like that, can we? They're right up there, man. They're
Short side.
3-0.
Chelsea.
I'll just quickly, but I just wanted to give my predictions as well for the mid-season that we were talking about. I think Liverpool for me also wins the title. I don't want to jinx anything for United. Let them play. If they win, I'll be very happy. But yeah, I don't see them.
What's the position? What's the final position of United?
But United will be second. I think United will be second.
Okay.
Liverpool still wins because I feel like the winter transfer window, everyone will a little bit. They will buy players. They'll make their team stronger a little bit. And Liverpool will definitely buy a centre back. So to see like they'll drop off. I don't see that happening. I
And
think
okay. And third and fourth?
for me would be Man City. Third would be Man City. Fourth would be Spurs. I'd say fifth between Everton and Chelsea. I see a fight for the fifth position. Sixth can be anyone right now. Like it can be Arsenal, can be Villa, can be Southampton. I don't see Leicester anywhere, as already Sid said. I don't see Arsenal. Leicester anywhere. Scammer will scam us again, I think.
I mean, I think
Rohil?
the top three are same for everybody. I guess it's going to
Rohil, your top three same?
Yeah, Liverpool, United, and City.
And,
But I'm skeptical about United because I've already said that. I mean, I want to see them without Bruno as well, and he is consistently playing well. So I mean, if he falters or if he gets injured, I mean, I don't want to jinx anything for you guys. Might curse me, but if he gets,
I think you should.
It will happen. But
it's fine.
Yeah, the fourth.
It's already done now. Every time we've spoken on the podcast about something, the next game is just totally havoc.
Yeah.
And Kshitij, I believe United are going to win the league.
It's too soon to call. Like, let's see somewhere around 25.
That's
20
surprising.
Let's let 25, 26 games pass. Like, if after March or April we are still in the top 3 teams, I'll put my vote out and say we are in a title race, but not right now.
I think for me, I think it also depends on the January window, and it comes down to if Man United can buy a player which does something incredible, like probably Bruno, then you've got a big chance. And also we talked about defensive problems. So if you have that defense sorted out, I think Man United will be there for a shout. Yeah, I'll put my money 50-50 on Liverpool and United then. But as of now, if you want me to tell you about who's going to win, it's going to be Liverpool, the way they play football.
Yeah.
So, and it's if Mane doesn't score, Salah would. If Salah doesn't score, Firmino would. If all three don't score, Wijnaldum would. If they don't score, Henderson would. So they've got goals throughout their team. I think even if nobody's scoring, Van Dijk scored a lot of goals for them. So it's just that they've got goals from everywhere. And
all right. All right. So now getting into our third topic of today, I think we have already talked about, I think on a previous podcast, we have already talked about some transfer rumors and transfer speculations. But I think it is a proper time to talk about because the window has just started. So I would just like to take some inputs from you guys about what teams need right now. I think we have already talked about what United needs. I think they need a centre back. But looking at a January window where big deals don't happen necessarily. So what do you think? What do you think United needs? Do you really think United needs to buy a player for this window, or do you think they just need to wait and they should buy at the main summer transfer window? Rishabh, I think I should start with you.
Yeah, I think they definitely like it. It's very funny. Like when the team is playing so well, you feel like everything's so good. You don't need anything right now, right? But yeah, United definitely need a centre back to partner with Maguire. And I'm not a very big fan of Maguire, but yeah, that's the 85 million defender that we have. So we have to keep playing him and make sure the defense is around him. So definitely think that they need a centre back just to tighten up things a little bit because I see like. We still keep leaking goals when we shouldn't. So I feel like we should tighten up on that end. And like what Rohil said previously that we are reliant on too much on Fernandes, I agree that too. But again, like that's something that's debatable because we've been saying that about Liverpool for so long, right? Van Dijk. One time he will get injured and then let's see what happens. Salah will get injured at one time and then we'll see what happens. They've not got injured. Van Dijk was a very unlucky injury that happened to him, right? Like it wasn't something that was he was in the run of play. It happened. It didn't. So if we can get a not a replacement, but if we can get a player in that can cover Bruno, it really helpful because you can technically just brush him up over the next 6 months and slowly integrate him within the team. And then when the next season starts, we can definitely get him started and start, rotating time with Bruno and that new player.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think for me, Donny
Rohil,
Van de Beek is
yeah,
the player like that could actually come in the place of Bruno Fernandes if in case he does get injured. Like he won't bring the leadership to it, but the style of play is like the kind of passing range he has. At least the kind of ground passing he has is very Caracas. I'm not comparing him to Carrick, but that he's some player that we can like. I'm very glad that we have in our squad.
I think more attacking than Van de Beek is probably, I think, McTominay, who's playing in that certain attacking role.
CDM role, right? Yeah.
Yes, McTominay
Yeah,
is
Oh,
defensive
attacking role.
midfielder.
yeah, because the way he is probably a CDM, but the
Hmm.
way he's channeling his attacking runs, for me, I can see like a temporary replacement if like Bruno, probably you, I don't know, I don't
So
think you agree.
for me, I think
No.
what Rishabh has said is absolutely right. I personally won't think about injuries
Hmm.
for a team. If it happens, it happens. But to have somebody just to replace him and think about it, it's all long term, and you're not going to spend 60, 70 million to just
Yeah.
you think that Bruno is going to get hurt. So that's not
Yeah,
going to happen.
true, true.
And McDominay, Vanderberg, and the other players that they've got, I think they've got a very good midfield. So let's not go there if he gets hurt.
Hmm.
Centre back. So my problem with United currently is they've not shown me a game except a few, probably against Leeds, where they scored 4 goals, 3 goals in first
Six.
20 minutes or
Six.
something like
Oh,
that,
okay.
and it
Yeah.
was it was it was good football. But they've not shown me a game where they've scored goals, they've won the games, but they've not shown me something like, okay, they've played a team out and out and beaten them. They've won 3-2, they've come back and they've done all that. I agree, they've won 1-0 93rd minute, and that shows a lot of character. But they've not shown me,
Dominated them.
they've
They've
not
not convinced
dominated.
you yet. Yeah.
Yeah, 90 minutes of
Yeah.
domination. Liverpool, when they drew a game, they could have scored 8 goals. They missed their chances. They were not good at it, I'm sure. But the way they were playing, I could see a goal coming from there. It could have come. Salah didn't score, but that happens with every team. But
Yeah.
Man United hasn't shown me that. That will come when they're assured of their centre back.
Hmm.
Still now,
Yes.
no, they're not assured of their centre back. They know that they're going to leak goals. Solskjaer has to play like that. Oli has to play like that because he knows that, I'm going to give away goals. And that's happening with them. So if you want my opinion, I think they need to go for a centre back. And a centre back whom they have to pay probably 80 or 90 million, Van Dijk kind of a personality who's not going to, give goals away. And that's the only, because I think their
What do you
goalkeeper,
think? How do you think if Alaba comes to United? Do you see that partnership with Maguire? I feel like
very good,
it will be a good
very
partnership,
good,
and the amount
very
of
good.
title winning mentality he'll bring to the team will be good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that
But
is, that is,
don't you guys think like it would still be a short term, like to get even Alaba? I think
I
hmm,
that's
mean,
still.
Alaba is
I,
28
what
years,
is
so he
28?
can still
Okay,
he can still
yeah,
be there for about
yes,
yeah. I
yeah.
seven,
think he
six,
can
seven
go for
years.
Centre back,
5 years.
Yeah.
5 years, yeah. 33
5
tak,
years.
Yeah.
I think for a centre back, 33, 32, 33.
I
Yeah.
think I should not say like we have a 36-year-old
Yeah, we
center
have
back with us.
that's gonna add
So
to.
just
And
jumping to Chelsea, what do you think, Rohil?
I don't know.
What change do we need in the squad? Do we need to because we have
You
already
manager, you
invested a lot.
manager.
We definitely need somebody at the center back position because we do not have the defensive capabilities at the moment. I mean, we always knew that Lampard was investing heavily in that. We knew that, and from the last season itself, we've been talking about Chelsea who need to invest in the defense, but he didn't
Yes,
invest anything in defense this year.
right.
So it is going to be very important who we bring in. I mean, I don't see anybody which is going to come in the January transfer window from the top clubs because of the position which you get from the Champions League and situation. So I cannot be sure about that, but there's going to be signings in the summer. I mean, I'm just going to hope that we survive this season with some decent game. We've not won any game against a top 10 side yet. We've lost the game against City today, so it's going to be very challenging going forward for us. So let's.
But you do not see any signing being done in January.
It's going to be very hard. I don't think Lampard is going to sign it. It might be a panic buy if he goes for it, but or a loanee which is going to come in. But I don't see anybody who's going to be there for a permanent.
How about selling Werner and Havertz? What do you feel?
I don't see Werner or Havertz getting sold.
They don't sell.
I like the way Rishabh has put it. I like the way that Rishabh has put it, but I just love the confidence that the Chelsea supporters have that we'll just go and buy and stuff like that. We summer signing and stuff like that. Whereas I think the others are pretty like for an Arsenal supporter, it's hard for me to say that we're gonna go and probably buy. But for you, I think when you talk about your defensive fraternities or whatever you want to talk about it's not something that I think the players are there. If you don't like Kurt Zuma, give it to Arsenal, man. To be honest, he's pretty good.
He is good. I mean, I'm not saying that he's not good, and he is.
For me, on paper, if you look at Arsenal team and Chelsea team, you can have two Chelsea teams. You can have the other team, the other 11. And play against Arsenal, and still I would make sure that they give a fight because they're that good. You've got Giroud on bench, man, and for me, he plays for every team. He's just there. He's like Didier Drogba. He's like that. So and for Chelsea supporters to just think, you've spent how much? I think this summer they've spent 300 million.
Somewhere that's 200 or 300.
That's the worth of Arsenal's Emirates Stadium, when they made it, So I'm not sure that Chelsea fans can go and say that we've got this issues, that issues. If there is an issue, it's with the management, the manager, and the players. There's no issue for them that they need new players. And I don't think they need.
I only say we need a central defender because Thiago Silva was always a short-term solution. He is 36.
Absolutely, you need a long-term plan. But I think we're talking about this year's league, and I don't think you want it.
I mean, to be honest, it's very disappointing to see the way the Lampard has managed his players. I mean, to be honest, it's not
absolutely.
It is very astonishing that how many goals your defense has contributed in the entire season compared to your attackers. And I think it's time to get back. I think we need to talk to Shreyas, our last guest speaker, when he said the hit of the season was Thiago Silva, and I need to get him. I need to get more answers from him. That why did he say
Thiago Silva hit of the season?
Hit of the season. For Chelsea,
that is a very bold statement.
No. It might be for Chelsea, but you can say it might be debatable on that aspect as well. But you cannot say that he is the player performing out and out.
See, I like Pulisic. I like Havertz.
Yes.
I like all these boys. If you give them to Arsenal, I'll take them any day. Any day. They're
we gave you Willian.
They gave you
Willian. Gave us Willian.
They gave you Luis as well.
Hey, Willian, if you look
that
at
was
it,
why they still gave you Luis.
I was talking to my son, and all the mistakes that Arsenal made second half was made by Willian. Last game, all the mistakes that was made by Arsenal was made by Willian. So it's not the best buy, but again, I think if Arteta takes us to the top 4 with Willian, then it's a shoot buy. It's not a bad thing. We didn't buy him actually, so it's not bad.
Yeah, it's a free
but giving him a 3 years contract is something that is debatable. Yeah,
and I think I believe he should have been dropped while between the games there. Yeah, I think because I think what's better for Willian right now, and I believe Arteta should have. I don't know if Arteta thinks that way or not, but I believe that Willian has that leadership quality behind the football ground with the team in the training field, managing these young players, keeping their morale high because he has that kind of reputation with us. He is a title winner.
But I'll be honest with you. I'm hopeful that all the young players that Arsenal have now got, I think you'll see a lot many games where we'll win. And attacking wise, Martinelli coming in, and Saka and Tierney and all these players are very attacking minded. So it's going to be good football. I like Gabriel. He's been good. Pablo Mari, I've liked him. So it looks like a team. The only thing is that if we can get one attacking midfielder, we'll give fight to every team.
But
I
do
think we're
you do
gonna.
you do you believe that Soler would come this Jan, or anybody in the attacking position Arteta would be signing?
So there are
Like, are there
two
any
things.
certain
There are two
rumors?
things. So I always believe, and so if you watch a lot of documentaries, also I always believe that signing a player is one a team wants to buy it, and the other part is the team wants to sell it. Do they really want to sell him and stuff like that? There are two parts of it. Now, buying wise, I think we've got the money. 27 million is affordable.
Yeah.
Arsenal should be able to afford him. Selling wise, I think Valencia is having a tough time. They are in a crash crunch. So they would like to sell a player. Now, would they like to sell Solar? It's completely
A different question.
different. So, but 27 million for a CAM is pretty good.
Yeah.
For a creative attacking midfielder, I think sounds good. Let's see how
And
it
I
goes.
think we have already talked about City. I think they require a striker, probably.
I mean,
Yeah,
for
they
me,
do need a striker.
They beat Chelsea without a striker, so
yeah.
we'll have to think about that.
I personally am a very big fan of Diego Costa, whose contract has been terminated by
Yeah.
Atletico Madrid. So
I was just about to
if
bring him up.
he decides to come back to,
I think I'm open. I'm open to having Diego Costa back at Chelsea. I have no issue.
Wolves. He's going to
he's
Wolves.
not gonna come back.
But I don't think he's gonna come back to Chelsea.
He's not going to come back. Yeah,
He's-
absolutely.
need anyone.
I'm like 50 to 60% sure he's going to go to Wolves because his agent is George Mendes, and most of George Mendes players are playing for Wolves.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm
So,
like that
I
might be
would-
the reason
but-
he
but-
cancelled his contract.
But the question is, can Wolves afford his salary? So Wolves
Yeah.
but he's
I
not
think
on
they need to.
contract, so
I
he's
need to.
getting
They,
salary.
they need to get Raul Jimenez out if they need
No.
Costa.
Diego Costa is a temporary fix because Diego Costa is not too young. He's
No,
in.
I'm
upwards of
talking
his
about the
30s.
salary. I'm talking about salary.
Oh,
Chetan.
Yeah, but he's a free agent, isn't it?
yeah.
But
He's a
yeah,
he's a free agent.
He's a free agent right now.
So what's he'll go for any salary, yeah, if the team is okay.
I guess. I mean,
I feel
I was
personally,
like listening. I was listening.
personally,
to
I
the,
would like to see him play for Spurs again under Mourinho. I would like to see him because I also see if he's going to be a short term fix as Kshitij already said, right? Like he's not going to be a long term asset for any team. So to get him into this first team, get a backup striker to Kane,
And do
as Mourinho-
They have a
and do
most
exactly
skilled
what
player.
Mourinho has been doing with Bale.
Yeah, I mean, we already know like Mourinho is going to have a downfall next season because it's going to be a third season. He's probably going to get sacked mid-December. I don't know, but so with
Depends
with-
on a
with
lot
that-
of stuff
yeah,
here.
but with
Though
that
he would
Costa
get
also.
sacked. Yeah, though he would get sacked or something. But see, Mourinho is a good fix for Tottenham. He's not been a good fix for Man United. But Tottenham, if they can secure a top 4 position and again get into Champions League, I think it's a good fix for them. Mourinho hasn't been bad for them, to be honest.
But don't you
And
think
not been bad,
that it is high time for Spurs to win the title? The way
what?
they have the players.
no, I mean, you cannot ask a Arsenal fan if it's a high time or not.
Of course not. Of course not.
That's an incorrect question.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just look at the question. He's not confused with the question.
Yeah, but you're talking about all this, man.
But
You
just-
talk
just
about-
to be a realist
All right,
here.
guys,
Just to be a
I
realist.
like the banter. I like the banter here, but because I know you've got Chelsea fans here and United fans. So United under Sir Alex Ferguson was a different team, and let's not go there. So United, if you want to talk about United, about when Alex has left the club. What have they won? We've won more than them. So that's it. First thing. Second, let's talk about Chelsea. All right, if Abramovich wouldn't have bought Chelsea, what has Chelsea won in that period? So and
Nothing.
they've changed everything. So we're comparing Arsenal, which has got a pedigree of playing in the top league with Everton for the most number of years. Yeah, we've
Yeah.
never been relegated. We've never had issues. So let's talk about the pedigree of what Arsenal is. We've got second or third highest number of followers in the world. Okay, we as a team, if you look at, we've never won the Champions League, which is one thing that probably hurts every Arsenal supporter. The Barcelona game and the red card, we would have thrashed Barcelona, and I've seen that game again and
Yeah.
again. I believe me, 11 versus 11. Even probably the king would say that 11 versus 11 we would have thrashed Barcelona. So that's one thing that. But if you see our pedigree, we're right up there, man. We are the top team. If we didn't have Kroenke as our owner, and if we would have had one of the billionaires as our owner, other billionaires, we would have been up there. So, and
Yeah.
believe me, I'm talking about this with the Chelsea fans more, because you know what? If Abramovich is rich, you could go and see Google. Nigerian billionaire wants to buy Arsenal, and believe me, if he does that, you never know. 20 to 30 to 2020 to 2030, we may win the league 3-4 times. That can happen. Yeah.
Can
So
happen.
That I completely agree. I still say that if Abramovich would not have been there, I would not have been I would not have known Chelsea. I
yeah,
think.
and the other thing with the United fans, I'm always because I've always had this Arsenal versus United, because it was the main game. It was the game that people wanted to watch, and I've grown up with that. My father was a United fan, and me being a Arsenal fan, it was tough in the house. So I understand all that, but United, after Alex has gone, I don't see them winning the league here ever.
Okay.
It's going to be hard. And you talking about, now we talk about Liverpool. Liverpool didn't win the league for 30 years. Arsenal, it's only been 18 years. So you never know. And league is not easy anymore. With Man
Yeah.
City putting in
Yeah.
those billion and where is our Chelsea supporter here, Anshuman and Royal? They talk about buying players like that. Summer we'll just replace that guy, we'll take this guy and stuff like that. For Thomas Partey, I think we had to wait for the last minute for Arsenal to buy him. We were like, me and my son were watching Sky News till 1 o'clock. We were hoping, praying, oh, let's buy him. Please buy him. Please buy him. And this is how it is. And for Chelsea, 70 million there. Oh, we bought a 75 million goalkeeper. We don't like him. We'll sell him for 30 million. That's okay. Let him go. That is their attitude. And how's that attitude become like this? Because Abramovich, he spends money left, right, and center.
It's very
Yeah.
optimistic of you to assume that even Kepa will go for 30, but let's see. I mean, I
That's
think
very modest. Yeah,
he's
yeah,
being very
that's
nice.
I think
He's being very nice.
I believe Kepa will retire in Chelsea.
I think it's the time for Kepa's redemption now. I mean, with the performances it's getting, I think Lampard might actually switch
And
to Kepa.
and you look at Arsenal, we've bought one player after so many years for 75 million or something like that. And the whole world is after him, that it's not his mistake that we bought him. It's Arsenal's mistake for sure that we bought him for 75 billion. But not as a player, you don't expect yourself to be sold for so many millions, you're a good player, you will be sold for this
Well,
much.
when the most important thing which I think is that when you have those billionaires backing you, then you need a man manager as well. You can actually manage those players at a very high level, like Alex Ferguson can do or Pep can do. Pep has the capacity to actually manage those players a lot. So that is
I think it is Ancelotti. Ancelotti is another manager who is, I think,
Ancelotti
known
is
for man
amazing.
management.
Yeah, he's amazing. He was
mean,
amazing
Lampard
football.
is still
He was an
very-
amazing football player also. So
Lampard is still
Yeah.
fairly young in his managerial career. So I mean,
that's the biggest issue.
Yeah.
That's the biggest issue, Rohil, because you look at it, he's young and he's got so much of money.
Yeah.
So he got so much of support.
I guess that's why Arteta is actually backed a lot more by Arsenal supporters as well, rather than the Chelsea supporters
See,
backing Lampard.
again, I'm 50-50 on Arteta. I'll always say that.
I know that.
Yeah, because the reason is, I think he's a fix. If we give him long term and if he starts proving himself now, probably he can get a long term. But for me, he's not done enough. We've started winning again, and you can be all positive, and you can,
Again, because this is his first managerial job. So, I mean, it's his first official managerial
But for Lampard, I think it's going to be difficult to retain his job because of what support he's getting from Abramovich. For Arteta, that is not a problem. Arteta is not getting that kind of a support from Arsenal board. Whereas Chelsea board is supporting Lampard. He said, I want this player. They've given him that player. So the problem for Lampard is higher than what it is for...
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that it is always the same situation is always with Chelsea. I mean, they back their managers like anything. If they want players, they get them. That's the thing.
I would love all
excluding the Conte season, the second season.
Yeah,
that is. I think that was one season. I think where Abramovich and Conte did not meet eye to eye on transfers. I believe. Other than that, I think Chelsea have always been like very welcoming in terms of getting the monies to buy whatever target they want.
Yeah, but that is the reason that that is the reason, right? Why managers are under pressure at Chelsea to perform, because you've been given so much millions to spend, and then you're sitting ninth in the league. Like that doesn't work for Abramovich.
But if you go through the stats, I think the highest spender for the last 5 years has been Man City.
Hands down.
And Man City, and then it has been Man United. So those are the highest two spenders, and I think the only reason why Chelsea is not in that list is because they were not allowed to make transfers for those 1 year transfer ban. Yeah.
No, and I think that is the reason why we bought a lot of players this season because of that.
Have you bought, Anshuman? Have you bought the right players? It doesn't look like that now.
See, I still believe we have the right. I still believe that we have a brilliant striker with us.
Do you think Chelsea will be in the top 4 first? And second, do you think that Lampard will retain his job by end of this year?
See, I cannot say that they can stay on top 4. I cannot say that they can be on top 4 this time. I'm not sure about that. But yes, I'm 100% sure that Lampard is not losing his job. And I'm gonna say it right now that Werner and Havertz, these two will be the players that will win us the title, and Ziyech, and Reece James, and Ben Chilwell,
and Pulisic.
I'm telling you this.
You've named all the players, I think now. So.
All the players that we have signed.
So I like all the Chelsea players. There's no doubt about it. But they still lost to Man City today, who were without a striker.
Yeah, I mean I think the team is...
All right, on that topic, I think we should go to discussion.
I mean, Lampard today has already admitted that. We've been saying that for a long time. But Havertz, who had been struck by the pandemic, he had COVID, so he is having the respiratory problems which he is struggling with. So he's not at the physically 100% right now. So it's going to take some time, and he's fairly young also. He's still 21.
For me, if Man City or Liverpool or Chelsea or Man United, if they win the league, it is not going to be such a big deal because the amount of investment they've made. But for me, like if Arsenal goes on or Tottenham goes on to win the league, or probably Everton goes on to win the league, Leicester when they won the league, that is going to be a big deal. That is going to be really hard because you're looking at a lot of teams who've invested and a lot of teams who have not invested. And now the football is completely changed. And I always talk about this. The first time when Mourinho won the league with Chelsea, that is the way now people win the league.
Yes.
You have to invest.
Yes.
You have to invest heavily. Man City, the Man City manager is world renowned. He's probably the best, but he needs the team for that. He buys players. He buys 100 million players every year.
I think City should give a lot of credit to Mancini. Mancini when
Mancini.
because that
That is
was the
his.
era where they started spending, and Mancini
Yeah.
got those players, and of course we
Plus,
know the rest of the history.
I always liked Company as their captain.
Mm.
Yep.
I always liked him.
I think he was one of those players. I think who were there, who was with City before. I think they got that
No, they
huge
bought him.
investment.
They bought him. They bought him.
Acha, they
They
bought
bought
him.
him.
Okay.
They
They
bought
bought him.
him.
They bought him. But Company was like Van Dijk. Yeah. So he was tough, and he would give you the goals also. So that is one thing that we'll have. Well, I don't think Arsenal has got a captain material till now, to be honest. So you need somebody like that, like Van Dijk, like probably a Company to win the league. And Liverpool, I think they're going to win the league again just because they've got the best defense, and their capability with attacking is amazing. Amazing. You look at the way they play. I watch most of the games just because I want to see what Klopp is going to bring to the table and how he's going to play against their team like Wolves, or
But
like.
what I think, Klopp also did not know what kind of player he got in Salah. I mean, Salah was a brilliant player. When he came to Chelsea, I knew this is the player who has brilliant pace. He has those attacking runs, but I still believe the Salah that we saw
Hmm.
in Liverpool. I think
So,
Klopp was also not ready for
so
the kind of.
Anshuman, with that thing in mind, you
Hmm.
also sold De Bruyne,
Yeah.
Lukaku.
Lukaku.
Oh,
So with Chelsea,
and see,
see if you've got the
I will
money.
do you one better. I will do you one better. We have 23 lonely players today
Hmm.
who can come into the team and replace any player right now.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you. I think the
So
players that we have sold.
On the topic of selling players to the rival club, remember Robin van Persie?
Yeah, I know, and that was so.
But
This is why I. So Kshitij, very nice point that you've taken up, because
Mm.
I'll tell you one thing. This is what I told you about Arsenal. The day, the day Wenger sold uh, Robin van Persie to United, yeah, they sold what? They sold the title to United. Do you get my
Yeah,
point? We
yeah.
knew that they're going to get the title now. Okay. Could Arsene Wenger have done more? Yes. But did the board support him?
No.
No. So that's the biggest thing. So when you talk about winning the leagues, it's buying the leagues. I'm not saying they don't have to play for it.
But
They
then
would have to.
if
But
you say that the board does not support Wenger,
yeah,
then
he did. He didn't get
but then
supported.
how did Wenger stay in the club for so long without winning a title?
Mate, the amount of money that Wenger spent and the amount of times we've been to the top four, which board would take you out? Tell me that. We were, I think,
like every
21,
time, I think
But
I
don't
don't
you
think
twenty-one
think
I
years.
don't,
saw. I think I saw Arsenal every time I saw Arsenal out of top four. I think come February during that Champions League round of 16 stages, he used to make a run for about 9 to 10 games where he
Nine,
used to
ten
just win
games.
everything. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he used to get Arsenal into top four. I think nobody else would have done that. Nobody could have
but
done that.
21,
then my
21
question
years,
is
21
how
years of being in the
hmm,
top four, 21 years. Yeah.
but
That's
out of 21 years, how many times did you win the title? That is
three
the
years.
question.
One
3 years.
once
Three.
once I think
Three.
once they
Once.
won three.
Yeah,
Three.
three times. Oi, don't be cheeky, yeah? How many times have you won the title overall? Mr. Oh,
20.
you're United, is it? 20
Yeah.
years.
We have the
So
most
I thought,
titles right now. I
Barking
mean,
up the
like,
wrong tree,
yeah.
barking up the wrong tree with that.
Sorry. I was talking to the wrong Grover then.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I didn't say anything. That's why I
Yeah,
didn't.
but United did it well with Sir Alex Ferguson, and you have to give credit to the man. It's
Yeah.
and the board helped him getting the players that he wanted. Also, that is the only team, and that's why I don't like them. I don't like United, but I have to give credit where it lies. So the credit has to be given to the 92 players, 1992, the team of 7, team of 8 players that they had were homegrown, from Scholes to Giggs to Neville
Beckham.
brothers, Beckham. All these boys were from United, so they've done good. And believe me, that's the respect I've got for United, because they won the league. Do you think I'll have the same respect now? No. And are they going to win the league in the next couple of years? No. Whether United fans like it, they don't like it, they're not going to win the league, because you've got Liverpool and Man City who are going to pay more money for the same player. Yeah, whatever they want. Man City and also Chelsea. Chelsea will buy those players for more money, so Man United won't be able to afford it. First, and second, manager wise, every manager is the same now. Yeah, you look at most of the managers, top 10 managers, you can say, oh, they're all good. You can't say that, Leeds manager, if you give him that kind of money, he'll win the league every year, mate. Yeah. So let's not get that thing, that Alex Ferguson was different because he could do it for 12.
I think the era was different. I think the era has changed.
Absolutely. And now, when you talk about top 6, you have to count in whether you're going to get Everton into it, whether you're going to talk about.
And even if you talk about Everton, Leicester. Even if we talk about these two teams, Leicester and Everton, we can still see the investment that Everton did with James Rodriguez.
They're the third highest investors in the last 5 years.
Yes, exactly.
So the whole point is, it's all about investing. And with a manager like Ancelotti, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong.
Exactly.
You can't go wrong. He's got Rodriguez. He's got the striker. He's Calvert-Lewin.
Calvert-Lewin.
He looks amazing. He looks like a reformed player. He looks like a player that any team would like to buy. He's just that good. So the thing is, it comes down to the investment. So Man United can invest, but can they invest? Can they invest more than Man City? No. Can they invest more than Chelsea? No. Can they invest more than who are the Everton? Probably no. So it's not that era anymore. So United are not going to win the league. Simple. Chelsea, they can win the league anytime. With the current players, they should be there. They should be actually going for the league. Arsenal, if they make it to the top 4, I think it's like winning the league for them. And I know, as an Arsenal supporter, you will feel that, why is he talking like that? But I can see the competition. I can see where we are.
That's all I can say.
Yeah, I can see where we are. It's not, and I don't see when people support a team, and I think most of people are glory hunters. They would hunt a team which wins. I have seen my team winning and losing, and I'll support them when they're losing, because they're going to go and win. And I think they've got a big chance of winning. They win the league, they win FA Cup. We are happy with FA Cup. Come on, we beat Man City and Chelsea when people gave us no chance. There were 4 teams in the semi-finals last year: Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, and Arsenal. And if you ask anyone that who's going to win the title, they'll say, we know who's not going to win the title. That was Arsenal. So out of those 4 teams, everybody would have said, out of the 4, Arsenal is not going to win the FA Cup, except that.
But if I just say, if I say in the next 5 years, do you see Spurs winning the title?
No.
Everybody. This is a question for everybody.
No.
No.
I think we're out of time anyway. So let's wrap up, I guess.
Yeah, I think we can talk about this for hours and hours and still not get into any.
All right.
Spurs is not going to win. Simple.
All right. So on this note, we are going to end this podcast. And thank you so much,
thanks a lot,
Mr. Siddharth, to join us and give us a very in-depth outlook on Arsenal, which we really needed. So
Arsenal and football, I think.
And Arsenal and football, yeah. And football
and probably, Anshuman, you heard a lot of truth about Chelsea also.
Yeah.
I think you provided a lot of truth about everything. So
every love.
Thank you so much for inviting me, boys.
Absolutely.
Hopefully we'll see a lot of football, and I'll come back again end of the season probably to talk to you guys again and see where we are.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure. Looking
Thank
forward
you
to
so
it.
much for inviting me. See you boys. Take care.